Hello, Yvonne here, and I just took a really long walk from New Seasons to back home to get some money. Gotta go right now. Oh, God!
So Rayman Origins is a game that I've heard of being the best platformer ever. And you know what? I've had it on PS3, and I never had the chance to play it. So when I finally got around to actually playing the game, I hated it. I mean, seriously, something back then just never caught up to me, and I just never had fun playing the actual game. And then I got to play Rayman Legends, and even though it was a pretty okay experience, I still had more fun playing it than playing Origins. And while I was playing Legends, I saw an unlockable called Back to Origins, which basically makes you play every single Origins level. And since I did literally everything else in the game, I decided to try it out. And when I did, I realized that back when I played Origins, I was a little whiny piece of cardboard. Because I realized that Origins is actually a fantastic game and makes Rayman Legends look like a money-grubbing cash grab. So now, today, I'm gonna be doing a top 5 best worlds in Rayman Origins. So, let us begin. So Mystical Peak is the last world you have to play in Origins, not counting the Grandma world. And for a last world, it's pretty okay. What I love about this world is that there's a lot of running on walls, and running on walls is pretty fun. I mean, here I go running on this wall, and I'm boop and bop, and it's pretty awesome. And you can also use these guys as platforms, and at first when you use them, they're pretty funny. But then you realize that they appear like everywhere in the level, and then it just kinda gets annoying. And speaking of annoying, what's the point of this section? Seriously, why is it there? I mean, the only reason why it's there is to annoy you, and I don't want the game to be annoying. Also, don't we already have a snow world in this game? Come on, Ubisoft, 2 snow worlds is just too much. Anyway, without being negative, this world does have some cool stuff. And I know that the second half of the world turns into a freaking airship level, and that's freaking awesome. But to be honest, this world is just okay. And if my least favorite world is an okay world, that surely means that this game is good. So the Gibberish Jungle is the first world in Rayman Origins, and to be honest, it's a lot better than Legends' first world. I mean, the first world in Legends introduces you to Murphy. I don't like Murphy. Anyway, the number one thing I like about this world is that the songs in it have mouth harps used in them, and I love that. And mouth harps kinda sound like words, so it really gives the atmosphere that this jungle is speaking language that we can't understand. A language that is gibberish. I also love the fact that this jungle has something mystical about it. I mean, seriously, what is going on here? And since this is the first world, it introduces a lot of mechanics, and it introduces them in a safe way and not in your face way. Think you can learn from that, Rayman Legends? Anyway, the Gibberish Jungle does have some great stuff in it, but it's not really a world I would revisit from time to time. Because since this is a first world, there's not that much stuff going on, and that's kind of sad, because I love this world. But to be honest, the only reasons I would sometimes revisit this world is to hear the awesome music, and darn is the music good. Anyway, the Gibberish Jungle is an excellent starting level. So the Desert of the JIBBERISH is a pretty unique world. And the main reason why this world is so unique is because it has instruments. Seriously, there are loads of instruments in this world, you name it. Drums, horns, pianos, flutes, strings, everything is here. And each time you interact with the instrument, it makes a sound, which is freaking awesome. I also love the fact that this world is just this giant big desert. The music and the atmosphere really make this world look like a giant wasteland filled with only instruments. It's pretty sad if you think about it. But the instruments aren't the only thing that are on this world. There are also birds. Because, birds can also be instruments if you squeeze them, but don't do that because you'll go to jail. And there are all kinds of birds here. There are toucans, drum birds, and the red birds. But beware the red birds because they sleep. And you know what you get for sleeping? That's right, 3 punches to the face. Because if I don't sleep, why should you? But anyway, the Desert of the JIBBERISH is a great level. Also, did I forget to mention Flute Man? There he is. There he is.
Oh my God! Oh my God! It's Flute Man!
There
Flute
he
Man!
is.
Can you
It's
believe it? It's the
Flute Man. Here he
It's the
goes.
Flute
Here he
Man.
goes
flies
on his
around the
flute
Flute Man.
journey.
It's the
It's
Flute
Flute Man. Now, Sea of Symphony is on number 2 for a very large reason, and it's because it introduces one of the happiest music tracks in game history. Seriously, when I first heard this track, I had this giant smile on my face that I just couldn't take off. Each time I play the level in this world with the volume on, I just can't help but sing along to this song, even though the lyrics aren't, understandable. This song is just so freaking happy, I love it. And the music is not the only thing that can make you happy. At the beginning of the level, you're greeted with these beautifully colored environments that just make you feel all glorious inside. And while going through this level, you'll probably be like, hey, the sea ain't so bad after all. That is, until you go deeper and deeper into the sea. And from then on, things get a little weird. As you go deeper and deeper, you start to see environments that have been crushed and swallowed by the sea. Buildings, castles, homes, all buried down under. It kind of makes you think if the sea isn't so safe as you thought it was. Sure, the sea can also have a lot of, beautiful things, but also can be a powerful entity that can crush anything in its way. The sea is long, the sea is huge, but the sea is also very deep. And the deeper you go, more stuff begins to happen. And what do I mean by that more stuff? Well, I mean the abyss. A dark, scary place buried deep inside the ocean, with arms that can snatch at you in the dark, environments that you need light to see through, and creatures that have never been discovered by the human eye. The abyss is a terrifying place, and it teaches you a lesson, that even though the sea might be safe at the top, if you go deeper, dangerous things lie ahead. And that is why Sea of Symphonee is an awesome world. So Gorman Land is the #1 best level in Rayman Origins because of its uniqueness. The level first starts you off in this pretty cool beach environment, except it's, on ice. So you're all going and sliding, it's all pretty fun. And then you get introduced to these guys, which are the biggest jerks on the planet. I mean, you know that they secretly wear Crocs. I mean, why do people even wear Crocs anyway? It's like if you made cheese into a shoe, and I don't want to walk in my cheese. Anyway, you're all sliding, having some fun until Mr. Saxophone joins the party and plays some smooth jazz. Seriously, out of nowhere, this freaking James Bond music starts playing. You're like, woohoo! And then you get to this guy who's like, hey man, you need some help? And you're like, sure. And you're like, and blows a bubble. Also, there's piranhas in the watermelon. That's a sentence I thought I'd never say. And then after that, boosh, you start breaking some ice and going. And you start breaking more and more ice and getting deeper and deeper, and after that, what do you see? Well, this freaking Italian cooking place, of course. Because why not? And then you're just going through this place as some of the best music in the game plays. Seriously, Dashing Through the Fire is some of the best video game music I've ever heard. It has the ay-ay-ay's, the oh-ho-ho's, and the ay-ay-ay-ay. It's freaking awesome! And that's the thing about this level. It's so incredibly unique. At first, you go from this icy beach to this freaking cookie place. It's freaking amazing! But the best thing about this level for sure is that it's fun. Every time I come back to Origins, every time I want to play this level. Gourmand Land has some of the most unique things in a video game that I've ever seen. And it deserves to be at the #1 spot.